This week on Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast, Mike is back from Asia, which means that we can finally talk about all the Star Trek that we've been missing. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Johnson.
How's it going?
It's going fine.
You're
How
back.
are you? I'm back. Yes.
In America.
Back in America.
USA. USA.
I don't know. I want to go back and live in Thailand. Do you think we can keep the podcast up if I move to Thailand?
I mean, we can try. I mean, we have the 12-hour time difference, but that's fine.
There is a 12-hour time difference. Yeah. No, it's good to be back. But also we really enjoyed the trip. So
it's also nice to just be on vacation.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
True.
Obviously Thailand's nice, but it's also vacation.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of family stuff. So, that we were gone for 2.5 weeks about a week. So, 4 days is about traveling and about a week of that was with family. So
right.
But yeah, it's good to be back. It's weird to be recording a podcast again after over a month.
Has it been over a month? I guess so, because we did our binge recording on or around July 4th, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we did a couple of episodes, I think, on July 4th, and then we recorded with Callie on July 5th, I want to say.
Yeah.
So that was the end of it. Yeah. So yeah, it's been over a month, and
now summer is almost over.
Let's not, yes, sort of, but
it is. So last week it was crazy. I was just doing stuff for work, and it was the beginning of August. I was like, wait a minute. This means October is in 2 months.
What's in October? Why did you say October?
October is like fall, it's fall.
Oh, it's well into fall.
Fall season.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it's here,
Yeah.
So,
no. I mean, September is really when things kick off for me again. So I'm trying to enjoy the rest of this month up through Labor Day.
Yeah. I do love fall, though. Fall is one of my favorite seasons.
Fall is nice, yeah. If you get the right fall weather, right?
Yeah, it's like a little crisp, not cold yet. You can have a nice coffee. You can walk around.
Yeah, you're not
sweating.
Yeah,
that's
nice. True.
I like
the downside is that last night was our last night. So this is Thursday, April 11th, but yesterday was the last day of 8 p.m. sundowns.
Yeah, I mean, it's always weird when 8:30 the sun sets. I'm like, my God. That took forever.
Yeah.
Turn off your notifications, Mike. Turn off your fucking notifications. Please respect the podcast.
I had quit it, but I had quit everything except I had to reopen it because Zoom I hadn't logged into Zoom for so long. Now they do this authentication where you have to enter a code.
Wait, what? Your work?
No, this is on my personal Zoom, and both of them did.
Oh, it's not asking me for 2-factor authentication. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway. So yes, that's why my email was open. I had quit it before, so I apologize for that brief interruption. To our podcast.
Yeah.
But yes, no,
you did interrupt. That's correct. But Mike, I am glad you're back because it has been a while. Nice. And I don't know. Life has happened. Star Trek news has happened. Life things have happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, things have happened. A lot of things have happened in the past month, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big news, right, was Nichelle Nichols passing.
Yes. Yeah, that was sad. But
That
she's
was
also
really sad.
old. I was like, and we knew that she was kind of sickly for a while. Like she
Yes.
was, yeah, she had some dementia, I believe.
Right.
She obviously had a lot of family issues, estate issues, and things like that. But she was also 89. She's not a spring chicken. Still sad, still surprising, but also not completely out of left field.
Right. Yeah. No. And in fact, when I was cleaning the office last weekend, I found my signed picture
Mm-hmm.
of that she signed for me way back in 2016 at New York Comic Con.
Uh-huh.
So I met her, and she was
Was
she
she
was
already like having some memory issues back then?
yeah, she
Yeah,
was
I remember you telling me the story a
yeah.
little.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember going up to the table, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it definitely, when you meet someone from your childhood who you saw on TV and movies that you loved,
Yeah.
like I did with Star Trek, um, to see them kind of not at 100%
Uh,
is, a little sad.
yeah.
And she wasn't she wasn't as, elderly, let's say, as she was more recently, but
Right.
she was a little forgetful, but
Mm-hmm.
it was really nice to meet her.
Yeah.
She wrote a nice message on the picture I got, and then I also got a photo with her. But this was also, I got a full photo with her before I like really wore like geeky stuff to Comic Con or whatever, like so I'm actually in like a not a polo. I'm in a like a a long sleeve shirt,
Mm.
like dress shirt almost. Not really like super dressy, but like a casual dress shirt, whatever.
Okay.
So I feel, looking back on it.
I don't, yeah, I wear like polos and like button downs.
Yeah, this
I'm not into dressing up.
this was the year before I think Discovery went. So
Mm-hmm.
Discovery went to, or the Discovery was announced.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, the following year I got a Discovery t-shirt. I was wearing a Captain America t-shirt, sitting in the Discovery captain's chair at Comic-Con.
Okay.
But the year before, when I got this photo, and I think I also got photos with Matt Smith and Karen Gillan.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Yes.
I was wearing a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But she was very nice. She was very kind. And such a trailblazer.
What are you gonna say? Trail?
Trailblazer. Did I say it wrong?
No, you said you were gonna say something else. I was like, trail
No.
mix. Yeah, it's a trail
So, she's an icon. She's a legend,
for sure.
and she always will be. And I
Absolutely.
really did enjoy the documentary.
Yes, that was
Um,
great. That was like we watched that over the pandemic. I remember
yeah,
Women
we
in
did.
Motion.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Women in Motion came out during the pandemic, and that was really great to see. That was a whole nother side that I didn't know about her.
I didn't know a lot about the NASA stuff to be honest. Like I
Yeah.
think I may have heard about it, but I was like, oh wow, she actually did a lot.
Yeah, she did. She was really really active in that, and yeah, had an incredible voice. She was beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of us, played a meaningful role on Star Trek. Maybe not the role. She paved the way for
Oh
Sonequa
yeah,
Martin Green,
absolutely.
and
Yes.
um, you know, um, all the women of color. Just it's sad, but yeah, she wasn't doing too well health wise,
Yeah.
and she'll be missed. That I don't feel like um as we get older, these things are going to happen.
Yeah,
These
more of these. I mean, it's not, I don't know when, but it's not going to be long before the first TNG cast member dies, you know? That'll be
yeah
sad.
yeah that will
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
yeah that will be really sad. And
Mhm.
yeah, so I hear that they're going to do some memorial for her at Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. We are not going to Las Vegas. We are going to Boston instead.
We're going to Boston for a wedding, for a good friend's wedding.
Yes.
/ reception.
Yes.
But that will be nice. But no, we're not going to be in Vegas.
We're not.
But you were going to be you weren't going to go to Vegas either, because you had already had so many trips.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, although, now hearing about all the plans and all the things that they're doing there, and we know more people now, thanks to Mission Chicago, if circumstances were different, maybe we would be talking about going, but we are not. So it is fine.
It's fine.
But we hope, if you are going, dear listeners, that you have a great time in Las Vegas.
Yes. No, everyone should have a great time. Everyone should have tons of fun. I'm fine not being there. So I don't really get too much FOMO. So
there you go.
I'm fine. But yeah, they're coming up in like 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Wow.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, very good.
2 weeks. And what else is happening? So on top of Nichelle Nichols, we have lost David Warner, who played Sinjin Talbot in Star Trek V. He played a couple of other roles in Star Trek, but that's the one that I remember him most for. So another great actor. And then,
wait, wasn't he also in Star Trek? Wasn't he Gorkon?
Oh, yes, in Star Trek VI.
Oh my God. Why are you not talking about like his like biggest role in Star Trek? I have not watched Star Trek V in like over 20 years. Star Trek VI, meanwhile, I've watched like 30 plus times. I don't understand.
I actually forget about it until, why? Because I am picturing him, his photo that was used throughout all of media was, his face and who he was. And so in Star Trek, who he looks like.
Chancellor Gorgon.
With tons of makeup, maybe, yes, but not
still recognizable.
Okay. Well, anyway, yes, he played Chancellor Gorkon as well.
Yes, Chancellor Gorgon.
So you can remember that in our pre-taping notes, though. You're like, who is David Warner? What did he play? So
yeah, I was like,
I just want to throw you under the bus,
like blah 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 from Star Trek 5. Like literally,
your last minute throwing in here of some Trek knowledge that you didn't bring up in our pre-taping.
The only time it's been so long. So I watched Star Trek 5 once, and I remember over 20 years ago. I remember I went to the local library. And I borrowed it on VHS.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's how long ago it was.
For Star Trek V, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes. I think you've shared that story before.
I don't think I shared that specific detail that I borrowed it on VHS. Borrowed it from the public library on VHS. That's how long ago it was. And I've only seen it one time, and I did not.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Whereas, yes, I agree. Star Trek VI is a much better film. He does play Chancellor Gorkon.
Yes.
It's so that's another. He does play another role in Star Trek. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But anyway, not a major, he guest starred in an episode or something. I don't remember exactly.
Got it.
So he passed away as well. So that was another sad loss. And then there've been a lot of other famous actors have passed away more recently, like Roger Mosley, Olivia Newton-John, some of the actors who were like mafia people and like Godfather and stuff like that.
I mean, people die every week. I don't. What's your point here?
Famous, movie stars, famous people, for instance.
I guess.
That's what I'm getting at.
Mean, famous people also die. But anyway, that comes for us all, Mike.
Thank you for bringing us all back down to reality.
Yeah.
During our first podcast in over a month. Thank you for bringing the reality.
Yeah, everyone dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're Thank you, Data. I appreciate your non-emotional response to all of this.
Just saying facts. I'm Captain
Okay.
Obvious here.
All right. Yes.
All right.
Moving on.
Moving on.
So we've been in this not dry. I wouldn't call it a dry spell. I would say it was a planned hiatus for Star Trek after almost a year of straight through episodes. Yeah. We've been off since the finale of Strange New Worlds, and coming up in 2 weeks from today, we get season 3 of Lower Decks.
We do,
which is really exciting. And speaking of Lower Decks, while I was away in Asia, I saw through social media that Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds is crossing over in season 2 of Strange New Worlds. And from what I've been able to glean from various different places, Tawny Newsome and Jack Quaid play their characters in real life.
In live action.
Yeah. So,
but meanwhile, Anson Mount has hinted that he will be animated.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really weird. It's really weird.
I feel and fear that the expectations for this particular episode are enormous, and
my expectations
also
are kind of low, to be honest. I mean, I'm like, when they announced it, I was like, oh, this is fun. But then I was like, oh my God, like, how are they going to execute this? And I just don't know. I just feel like it's just going to be very silly, obviously. Yeah. But will it be good? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But they're talented showrunners. So I would like to believe that they will pull it off in a way that is entertaining and fun. I just hope it's not like dumb. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see sometime next year what all the hype is about. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it pays off. We were also teased that Kirk was going to be in season 2, and he ended up being in the finale of season 1. Yeah. So, but also Strange New Worlds had a phenomenal, solid, apparently 10 episodes of their first season, and they are the #1 Star Trek original series show on Paramount Plus. So,
I mean, it had a lot going for it. There was a lot of hype and people were excited, and it was also good. So, hey, you know,
it was really good.
That helps.
Really good
when it's also a good show, and the critic reviews were also very, very positive. And user reviews were positive.
You are, you're a very strong critic.
I am. I don't hold any punches.
And I really you were pretty happy during this season.
Yeah, no, it was great. We
didn't have any real disagreements, which is really odd for us.
No major about something.
Yeah. So
I mean, we had a couple, but they were minor, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So yes, good for Strange New Worlds. They haven't been renewed for season 3 yet, but hopefully they get that renewal soon, so they can just start production ASAP.
Right. Yes. What else is going on? What else do we have to catch up on and chat about?
I mean, what else was on your list? You had Eagle Moss folding.
Oh yeah, so there's another piece of news that came out was Eagle Moss disappeared for a while, and then finally someone who used to work there, his name's Ben Robinson, who was, I believe, head of licensing for Paramount.
Okay.
Like the liaison for licensing came out, and he's done a bunch of interviews this week, in fact, because he has finally been released to be able to talk about what's going on, and also wanted the fans to know, that he didn't agree with the silence of the company on everything, and that
there isn't really a good way to tell people, oh, our company is dying. There's no great way to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I
agree that they should have been more communicative, because it was weird. Like the site went kind of down. They stopped answering email. It was like this, like slow, like a very slow, drawn out death.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel that if they kind of just like immediately announced and it was kind of quicker, it would have just been, rip off the band-aid. Instead, it was like information trickled out, people were gossiping, things were appearing on Twitter. I just, I rather in those cases just like rip the band-aid off, just
yeah, no, I think that would have been much wiser.
It would have been better, honestly.
Yes. Yeah. There was a lot of speculation for a while, and then so they're in what in US terms we call Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but they're a UK company, so there's a whole nother term for it. But
I was looking it up. They're in I don't know. They're in administration. They're in administration. Oh my God.
Wow.
What a word. What a term.
That is.
It reminds me of Severance, because we were talking about Severance right before we started recording.
Yeah.
Like, go to the admin office. It's like, oh God, no. What is that? Yeah.
So I think they could have done it better. I agree. Like making a statement that they're going into receivership or whatever.
Administration.
Oh yeah, administration. Right.
God, get it straight, Mike. Get your British lingo correct. British business lingo correct.
Because that's such a priority for me to get that correct. Anyway, but so Ben has shared that he's hopeful that pieces of the company will be picked up by, certainly one of the things that he did say in an interview that I read this morning or yesterday, I can't remember which, was that the Build an Enterprise D model set, which a lot of people had invested in, CBS was really intent on making sure that somehow continues.
Yeah, because you're saying that they had already shipped out the majority of the kits.
Yeah.
For those who subscribed from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that they, at some point they, I guess, I don't know enough about it, but yeah, I heard that they were up to 25 out of 31 kits were delivered already. So there's not a long way to go. But it's still sad that that all.
Yeah, I mean, totally. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean they make really good products. Like I don't know any, I did not want a 2-foot or 4-foot by 2-foot build of the Enterprise D.
No, absolutely not.
But I do have a few starships. So one prominently right now is I have the Enterprise from Discovery on my shelf.
Oh, okay.
But they do make nice products. They're beautiful, and they also make books. So they're hopeful. Ben is hopeful that that pieces will be picked up, and that there are product in warehouses somewhere that is worth.
I mean, they're probably done like with production of the Enterprise D kits. They probably haven't packed them up yet, but I would imagine they're all produced.
Yeah, I would think so too, but who knows? Yeah, hard to say. So,
well, that's too bad. R.I.P. R.I.P. Eagle Moss.
Well, hopefully, other companies will pick up some of some of these product lines. So, like the Starship, were very popular. You could pick them up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Having people have huge collections of these starships that they've picked up over the years. So. Definitely a popular product line, and they've also written had a bunch of books. So here's hoping that all comes together, especially for all the people who invested in.
Absolutely. It's expensive. It's not cheap, especially like what if you're talking about like 30 kits or whatever. That's like a lot of money.
So there's that. What have you been doing to pass the time without new Star Trek? What have you like? We did do a show before we left a few weeks ago that talked about some ideas for what to watch while there was a hiatus in Star Trek. Because at that time we did not know how long it was going to be.
Right. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there right now in terms of content. We were just talking about Sandman, I just started watching that.
Yes.
It's good. It's creative. I like Neil Gaiman.
I do too. Yeah.
It's very imaginative. So, been watching that. And then our other favorite show, For All Mankind, which this season I have like more mixed feelings about the latter half of the season. The most recent episode was really good, but there was like this focus on like some of these really annoying characters. I'm like, I just want to go over and stab all of them. But it's otherwise it's still been good. At least.
Well, is it come out? The finale comes out tomorrow, right?
Correct.
Oh boy.
Yes, correct. It comes out Fridays, Mike. Fridays.
So
yeah, you're losing track.
I was.
And then House of the Dragon comes out in 2 weeks as well. That's very soon. So planning to watch that. There's actually a lot of stuff out there at the moment.
I recommend checking out Paper Girls. I'm enjoying that. That's a good sci-fi, young adult sci-fi, but it's still really good. And it's based upon a comic that I used to read years and years ago. So
I heard good things for sure.
Yeah. So there's that, and we have Andor. So Andor got pushed back
to September.
She-Hulk is coming out in a couple of weeks as well, and I think Disney decided not to do the overlapping shows because I think they said that that might have can't think of the word, but might have ate away at their audience, cannibalized their Miss Marvel audience, which I have to say I don't even know if I finished the premiere of Miss Marvel, to be honest.
I didn't even watch Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
It didn't look interesting to me. I mean, like I feel like I need to watch it at some point just because it's part of the MC, Marvel Comics, whatever universe,
yes.
Blah blah blah, whatever.
Yep. MCU.
But yeah, She-Hulk doesn't look that interesting to me either, but whatever. It's fine.
I think it looks more interesting to me just because Bruce Banner is in it. So Mark Ruffalo is in it a little bit.
Sure.
And I like him.
It's just something to watch.
Yes.
You need to watch Severance. I keep on telling you.
So I watched the first episode on the flight back from Asia.
Yes.
And it is a mind fuck of a show. But
it's original, right?
It's yes. You and I talked about this. We
can talk about all the podcasts because you didn't watch anything yet.
It's truly an original show. I will give you that. Absolutely. But it is a lot to take in, and it doesn't really fit into a specific genre. Like it's sort of a drama. It's probably got a little bit of a sci-fi twinge to it.
There's definitely sci-fi. There's definitely drama. It's like a dark comedy. There's dark comedy elements.
Yeah, it's darker. It's darker, and I think that's where you lose me. I think that the combination of drama and dark comedy just doesn't excite me. Like though honestly, like the world is drab enough, like crazy enough right now.
Oh right, I remember now. I remember this now. You don't like dark shit. Like you're not a fan of like dark shit. I love dark shit, but literally, Mike, the last episode, I was on the edge of my fucking seat. You do not understand.
Does it wrap up at the end, or is there like a cliffhanger and they're gonna do a second season or whatever?
It's gotten renewed already.
Oh, has it?
It's up for like 15 Emmys. Like,
I've seen some of the the Emmy announcements around New York City, but
it's so good. It's like it might be my favorite. Yeah, well, I'm trying to think my favorite new show, but I don't even know what's new anymore. It's one of my.
It's hard to classify what's new and what's.
Yeah, it's kind of all hazy sometimes. I'm like, wait, is that new? No, it's not. It's definitely one of my favorite new shows. I think of the past 2 years. I can say that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm kind of sad that you're not as into it.
Yeah, it's the dark side of things, and it's a lot of work to watch, but we'll see. I came back to For All Mankind.
You did.
So
We
maybe
never got into Foundation.
I've watched a couple episodes. Like it's fine. It's just not like must watch TV for me, I guess. I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's like must watch. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, if there were nothing else to watch, or I was still in Apple TV after watching whatever, Fall on Mankind, and I felt like
Lee Pace isn't bad to look at. I'm just gonna put that out there.
okay, yeah, you can, he's not, he's not unattractive.
He's not unattractive, and he bulked up. Like, because I remember him in Pushing Daisies. Did you ever watch Pushing Daisies?
Oh yes.
That was like probably one of his first breakout roles, and he's like, he's very like twinky, like very skinny guy, like kind of nerdy.
Yeah,
and
that's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Gosh, and, Pushing Daisies was an ABC show, I think.
Correct. Yes, it was.
When that mattered, when networks
mattered, yes.
Yeah, when networks mattered, and now we're
but that was also like Brian Fuller, who is an amazing creative mind. That's when I discovered Lee Pace. I mean, he was back then. He's like nerdy guy, and then in Foundation, he was like this like really aggressive emperor.
Yeah.
So that isn't unattractive.
Yeah.
So
no,
that isn't difficult to look at. Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So anything else Star Trek-y that we've
I was going to mention. I was going to say that Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan comes out in a few weeks in theaters. This is the.
Oh, do we have tickets for that yet?
No, not yet. But I was going to ask if you want to
yes.
go.
Yes, unequivocally.
Yeah. Are you going to be here for Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, we can go.
Oh, that's when it's coming out? Over Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, it's out Sunday. It's playing Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the director's cut, 4K, yada yada.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's great.
Hopefully I won't fall asleep like I did in the motion picture.
Those
two completely different seats, by the way.
Those were, absolutely. And we went on a weeknight work night. So that was the other thing. So since it's over our holiday weekend, and the motion picture and the Wrath of Khan are two entirely
different. It's so different.
Different. So I don't think I don't, because it is by far my favorite.
It's very good
Star Trek movie.
Star Trek 6 is still potentially my favorite, but Star Trek 2 is a close second.
Star Trek 6 is my second favorite, for sure.
They're both very good.
Yeah,
they're both excellent.
They're both very good. Yes. Yeah, you. No one will be following.
I'm not. Oh my god! What? Like, no. I wouldn't be like, what? Star Trek 6 isn't your.
First of all, the music is entirely different. That'll keep you awake. Because there's a lot of horns and things like that. I just. The Enterprise leaving dock comes to mind, and all the fanfare, of the horns and the fanfare. Yes.
I just did a horn motion for our listeners that can't see me.
Yes.
I'm like,
I saw you do that.
Yes.
So that'd be cool. And then, we do have Comic-Con, Friday tickets for Comic-Con in October. So that's.
When is Comic-Con? What are the dates? Is it my calendar? If it's not my calendar,
yes,
it doesn't exist.
It is in your calendar. I am 99% sure I put it in your calendar. So it is.
It's the 7th.
Yes.
October 7th.
Yes.
Oh, I put in my calendar. You didn't put jack shit in my calendar.
That's weird because I have it in my calendar and I thought I invited you.
No, I put it in here.
Huh. Interesting.
You didn't help me.
Oh, I have the ticket thing. Oh, I had to put it in for the whole time, for the whole weekend.
Oh, I don't have that whole weekend either. So
Well, let me add you if I can, because this is like an imported add invitees.
But what are we doing? Are we just visiting? Is there a panel that we're on? What? What's happening?
Well, that's a possibility. I don't know if Yvette has heard back.
She submitted, right? She submitted
She
like a
submitted,
proposal.
yes.
Yes.
So,
that's what I figured, but I wasn't sure.
yes. So we also don't know which day it is. We have Friday tickets, so it'll be a problem if the
Oh my God. If we're like Sunday afternoon, Mike, I'm not going. There'll be 5 people there. I'm not gonna go. Like that's
actually, like Comic-Con does not dribble off like that. That's the thing. I've been a long time goer to Comic-Con. I've taken the last few years off, notwithstanding the pandemic, but yeah.
Sunday.
I mean, who knows? Who knows when it'll be? But we'll see what happens. Who knows?
All right. Well, if we get a Sunday spot,
we'll have to figure out how to get tickets.
You have to figure out how to get me to go.
Well, that too. So yeah, we have that coming up, and we have 10 weeks of Lower Decks, which is great because that's always fun to talk about, and
then Prodigy TBD.
Prodigy, yes. I don't think we're gonna get another live action show this year. Not unless they're rushing production of Discovery. So
yeah, there's also Picard, but they have said 2023.
They've said 2023. So we'll kind of see what happens.
But we have also still theorized, nevertheless, that they might try to release it this year. So
yeah, I mean, it would make sense since it's the one that's completed and has been in post-production for the longest.
Yeah.
It could certainly be ready after 10 weeks of Lower Decks and maybe even a 5 or 10 week jaunt of Prodigy. Or they could do what they did last year and do 5 of Prodigy, do half the season of Picard.
I was just thinking that. Get out of my head.
So they could do exactly what they did last year, just using Picard instead of Discovery. Right. So anyway.
Meanwhile, Discovery can take its sweet ass time. I'm not chomping at the bit for Discovery to come back. It's like, whatever. Please take your time and figure out your show.
Yes. Figure out your show. Yes.
Just putting that out there. I'm putting that out there to the universe because I haven't given enough notes to Discovery in our podcast.
Yes. Gosh. Yes. But I'm excited to see how they weave all the next gen characters into Picard. That's going to be really exciting. And I think LeVar Burton said something to the effect of, this is the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you want to put money if they resolve this transwarp tunnel that appeared in the finale of season 2?
No, I would never put money on Star Trek, first of all, because we have always been wrong. So yeah, no,
I will put money on the fact that we never hear from that ever again. Like,
who knows? Yeah. Who knows? It's I want to say that it probably plays a role in this 3rd and final season, but we'll see what happens.
I'm tubes. Especially if Alison Pill's not coming back, it's like it would be very abrupt and weird. I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway. Yeah. So there's that. But what did you say? Gates McFadden is very excited about this season of.
No, because she sent me that clip of her at Comic-Con and she was saying something along the lines of like, oh yeah, this is like the most exciting season of Star Trek that I've been on, or whether it's about her excitement level or the amount that her character got to do. I'm like, bitch, that's a low bar. Like you haven't done. She hasn't done that much. Like she's never gotten like good stories in Next Generation. Let's be real. Other than maybe being an accessory to Wesley and being his mom and being a single mom, they didn't even really cultivate that well. Like there's, whatever. She and Deanna did not get the best story.
Yes.
Let's be real.
True. Yep. That's true.
Yeah, I'm like low
I mean,
bar.
the times were very different back then for writing and for Hollywood, and this is so yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see how they weave these characters in, what they're doing.
I think I had a dream about this. Oh my God, I had a dream. I literally had a dream about it. It wasn't like just a flight of fancy. I literally had a dream about it. I dreamt that that Laris died. I dreamt that Laris died in the
Oh
first
my word.
episode or two of season 3. And then Beverly comforts Jean-Luc, and that's how they get back together.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a dream about it. I'm not even joking. I just remember this now.
No, I realize you're not joking. I just think yes.
Yeah, just remember this.
The inner workings of your brain would be a fascinating discovery.
Sure, fascinating research project. But no, I could see that being real. I could see that being how they kind of get. I have the sense. And I feel that Patrick Stewart and Jason Van have been a little bit coy about it, but I feel that they're gonna get back together. Like it's just the way that they're kind of because people are like have been asking them about this, and they're being totally coy about it. And I'm like, just give the fucking fans what they want. I want it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. Yeah.
Or you can just continue to edge me for another season. That's fine too.
Well, this is the last season. So, there is this is the end. And and also during this whole thing, Alex Kurtzman, during Comic-Con, Alex Kurtzman did say that there are 2 shows in pre-production.
Correct. But I mean, we kind of know that.
Well, we know that there are ideas floating around there. Like he's talked about Starfleet Academy,
Section 31,
and Section 31, and possibly some other. Like there's been this Khan rumor, which I'm not at all excited about having a movie or a mini series about Khan. I don't. That's just something I just do not.
Yeah, you mentioned this. Is it like a prequel?
I don't know. I don't know if it's years during the they're on the planet. I don't know. What's that?
Is it like the eugenics wars?
Oh, it could be that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know. But maybe that all culminated. Maybe that's all being worked into Strange New Worlds, thanks to having a Noonien sing on the show. So we'll kind of see. See what happens. So yeah, that's really all I've got for our catching up right now. We need to come up with some programming for the next couple of weeks before Lower Decks returns.
Yes, we probably need to brainstorm a little bit on what we're going to talk about, because we covered all the news. There's nothing else. We have everything. Yeah. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We'll have more to talk about in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, Mike, do you want to talk a little bit about our sponsor who is not bankrupt?
Yeah, yes.
I just putting it out there.
Fansets is definitely not bankrupt. In fact, they just released the memorial pin set for Strange New Worlds, which I have, and it's amazing. It's great. It's beautiful.
Wait, you bought it?
Yeah, I bought it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's there's only
more things.
All right. Listen, you and I are not the same person.
Just saying.
I'm not as minimalistic as you are. And I really love these pins. So, and I love supporting.
Wait, can you show me the box?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's right here. So it comes in a nice little display box, and
Okay, I see it.
So it's gorgeous, and you can hopefully still get it. I don't know. So there are only 250 sets available, which is why I picked it up, because I was afraid it was going to sell out. So there's that. They also are going to have a lot of first looks and chances to get new pins at Las Vegas.
Right.
So all of the command deltas for Strange New World, the deltas for Strange New Worlds, including engineering and medical, I want to say, or engineering and science, maybe. So they'll have 3 deltas there for Strange New Worlds. What else have they've released a new Bajoran pin? So many new pins, and more to come. I recommend, in order to stay on top of it, that you just follow them on social media, because they post pictures all the time. They post teases, they post so as of right now, the limited edition 12 pin set for Strange New Worlds Memorial Pin Collection is still available. So and they will have 100 of those at the 56-year mission in Las Vegas in 2 weeks. So there's that. Like I said, and the Prodigy Delta pin has come out, so you can.
I'm surprised they haven't made that Picard pin. You know what I'm talking about? The Alt Earth one, the one that's.
I think that's coming though.
Oh, it's coming.
I think that they're.
It's actually kind of a cool pin. It looks interesting.
Yeah. It's definitely not out yet, but it is.
I feel that that needs to happen.
Yeah,
I would get it, but I'm like, oh, that's an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think they are going to do that one. I don't know if they'll have it. Maybe they might have something to show people at Las Vegas. I don't know. But they also released Divana Tendi, Women of Trek pin, and obviously the prodigal. My gosh. Prodigy.
Prodigy. How did you say it?
I can never say that word correctly. I do not know what is wrong with me. But the Prodigy pins set, the series is out there, as well as some of the individual, and Murph surprisingly is available and not sold out.
Wow.
So yeah, the individual pin, if you just love Murph, or if you have a kid who loves Murph,
they need a plushie. They still don't have that.
Yeah, that's true. Lot of opportunity here with Murph, because every kid that we saw at Mission Chicago in April, all they wanted to talk about is Murph.
Right.
All they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So they have the Esri Dax and also the Emperor Giorgio Women of Trek pins as well. So plenty of new pins to go and check out. Head on over to fansets.com, put a bunch of pins into your cart, and if you use the code TrekGeeks, all one word, all caps, at checkout, you're going to save 10% off your order. And if you're over $30 in the US, you're going to get free shipping. So, and they ship these out fast, really fast. They're amazing at shipping. Like, I ordered my pin set on Tuesday. I had it on Thursday. I'm not.
Oh, wow. That's really fast.
Yeah. It was super fast. Really okay. Granted, it's a box set, and it was in a priority mail box, which I think is a lot easier to, get shipped. Everything else goes first class, I think. But anyway, so head on over there, give Fansets a lot of love. And if you're going to Las Vegas, make sure you say hi to them and see all the new pins that they will be releasing exclusively at Las Vegas. So we want to thank our friends at Fansets for being the exclusive sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Thanks, Fansets. All right. Well, this has been great, Mike. This was short and sweet. This is one of our shorter episodes.
It is.
But, we got through everything we wanted to discuss. We would love to hear from all you listeners out there. Know it's been a couple of weeks since we have been live, quote unquote live, or more, at least more recent. But we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us on email at deepspacepride@gmail.com, or you can reach us on Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride.
There we go. And we'll need to figure out what we're going to talk about next week and the week after. I think the week after we might be able to talk about Lower Decks a little bit.
Well, it's like, based upon our schedule, we're always like a week behind. So yeah. And so the first episode of Lower Decks is what, the 24th? 25th.
Yes, it's in 2 weeks.
So not next Thursday, the Thursday after.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 2 more weeks of stuff to figure out.
And then we're in Boston the day after.
Yeah. So we have to record. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we have to record and get all that done early that week.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We will. But if you have any suggestions, shoot them over to us and go back and check out our talk with Callie Wright, which was last week's episode. Check out Will Wheaton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can go back and listen to my brief conversation with Doug Jones from a year ago.
Oh yeah, that was so long ago. Oh my God.
So, I mean, it was a year ago. So yeah. Go and check those out. Let us know what you think. And if you have any suggestions for what we should talk about, maybe we should do a Star Trek 5 or Star Trek 6 rewatch and talk about one of those. I don't know.
5. Oh God. All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
No, we don't. Yeah. Well, maybe we won't torture ourselves with Star Trek 5.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But send us some suggestions. We would love to hear them. And we'll be back here next week with an all new episode. And we hope you guys are having a great summer. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
Yes, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes, because death is coming. Thank you, Johnson.
Yeah, death is coming. October is coming. It will all be over soon.
Oh, my word. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.